So, hello and welcome to Enterprise Networking, Security and Automation course. In this module, we're going to talk about yung single area OSPF version 2 configuration. Bakit version 2? Kasi ang configuration natin is for IP version 4. No? So, the objective of this module is to configure an OSPF version 2 router ID, configure single area OSPF in a point-to-point network, configure the OSPF interface priority to influence the DRBDR election in multi-access network, implement modification to change the operation of a single area OSPF, configure OSPF to propagate a default route, verify a single area OSPF version 2 implementation. So sa inyong NetAcad, ito yung ginagamit ni Cisco as model or topology for configuring OSPF. Okay, but in this video I'm going to use this topology. Okay. OSPF version 2 is enabled using the router OSPF and then the process ID sa global configuration mode yun. Yung process ID can be 1 to 65535 or between 1 65535. Mamimili lang kayo dyan. Okay, ano man ang gusto nyong number na gamitin. So locally significant, ibig sabihin yan sa router lang na kino-configure nyo, mahalaga yung number na yan, kung sa ibang router iba yung number na ginamit nyo, walang problema as long as they belong in the same single area OSPF. Okay, pero for the best practice daw, para hindi kayo nahihilo kada verification or troubleshooting, hindi practicein na lang natin that all router will use process ID na pare-parehas number, kunyari ito dito sa sample slide natin, router OSPF 10 ang ginamit, wala namang wala naman siyang kinalaman sa bilis ng convergence ng routing table. Yan. Kumbaga preference na lang yan ng administrator, or kayo kung ano yung gusto niyo number na ilagay diyan. Followed by the router ID, Ayan. An OSPF router ID daw is a 32-bit value. It is represented as IPv4 address without a subnet mask, It is used to uniquely identify an OSPF router, and all OSPF packets include the router ID of the originating router. So ibig sabihin doon sa 5 packets ng router natin, or yung mga packets na ginagamit for OSPF, included yung router ID ng source traffic. Every router requires a router ID to participate in an OSPF domain. It can be defined by the administrator or automatically assigned by the router. The router ID is used by the OSPF enabled router to do the following, to participate in the synchronization of the OSPF databases. Remember, during the exchange state, the router with the highest router ID will send their database description or descriptor packet first, and then participate in the election of the DRBDR router. In a multi-access LAN environment, the router with the highest router ID is selected as the designated router. The router with the second highest router ID is selected as the backup designated router. So, paano ba yung order ng router ID configuration? Ayan. So, Cisco router derived the router ID based on one of 3 criteria. The router ID daw is explicitly configured using the OSPF router-ID command. This is the recommended method to assign router ID. So, kunyari, in absence of that command, kung may naka-configure naman daw kayo na loopback interface sa router ninyo, the router chooses the highest IPv4 address of any of configured loopback interfaces. Kasi ano yan kung i-compare niya yung loopback sa physical interface, ang loopback kasi hindi naman nasisira yung interface na yan Okay, therefore pagkakatiwalaan niya yan para maging permanent yung number sa OSPF synchronization nila Or kung wala po kayong nilagay na loopback interface, since yan ay optional lang naman the router chooses the highest active IPv4 address of any of its physical interface. For example, 192.168 is higher than 172.16. So, yung 192.168 na address na yan, yung gagamitin niya as router ID. So, in case that you want to use yung loopback interface para maging router ID, yan, configure lang tayo ng loopback. So instead of relying on a physical interface, the router ID can be assigned to a loopback interface. Typically, the IP address for this type of interface or loopback interface should be configured using a /32 mask or all255. This effectively creates a host route. A 32-bit host route would not get advertised as a route to other OSPF router. OSPF does not need to be enabled on an interface for that interface to be chosen as the router ID. Example daw yan. An administrator configure interface loopback number 1 with the IP address of all1 all1 kasi gusto niya corresponding to R1 and then /32. Nung enable niya yung OSPF using show IP protocol for verification, lumabas yung router ID 111 or yung preferred method ayan, pagka R1 quad 1, R2 quad 2, R3 quad 3 and so on. Okay, use the router -ID RID router configuration mode command to manually assign a router ID. Example daw yung router ID 111 is assigned to router 1. We can verify it using show IP protocols kapag na-configure natin. So what if na-configure nyo na yung router ID pero gusto nyo palitan? Ayan. After a router selects a router ID, an active OSPF router does not allow the router ID to be changed until router is reloaded or the OSPF process is reset. Clearing the OSPF process is the preferred method to reset the router ID. Kasi ang option mo nga naman, pwede mo naman daw i-reload yung device, kaya lang matagal yun. Dito ang gagawin lang niya is i-shutdown niya yung service na OSPF tapos i-re-enable niya. Ayan. So kagaya nito, sa example, currently R1 10.10.11 ang kanyang router ID. Mali daw yan, gusto niya yung 111. So ginawa niya, pumasok ulit siya sa router OSPF 10, then router -ID 111. So biglang magbe-message siya si OSPF that you need to reload or use the clear IP OSPF process for this to take effect. So punta kayo sa privilege mode and then type clear IP OSPF process. Ayan. Tapos tinatanong kayo sigurado ka ba reset all OSPF process? Di sagot nyo why or yes. And then for verification, use the show IP protocols and then you can filter it using the pipe and then the word include tapos yung router -ID case sensitive kasi ito so yun router ID 111 yung pinakita niya. So bago natin continue itong slide na to, punta muna ako dito sa ating topology to configure na yung OSPF. Between R1 and R2 muna tayo. As you can see here sa label meron tayong bandwidth na 1024 dito, yung isa 4096. Ang purpose lang naman nito is ipakita sa inyo na yung OSPF ay nagko-compute ng cost based on the link bandwidth Ayan. Configuration ng bandwidth natin should be the same on point to point Ayan. So sa R2 muna tayo. Check muna natin ano ba yung default bandwidth for the serial interface. So i-filter natin using include BW, no? Yan. So dapat ito ay 1544. So ibig sabihin na ito na i-configure na ito kanina, no? Paano siya na-configure noon? Hindi, pasok lang sa interface, tapos yung serial number to 0. Ang command ay bandwidth, no? Tapos 1024. By default kasi ang kanyang bandwidth ay in kbps. So again, yung default bandwidth natin sa serial is 1544 kbps, no? I think na i-configure ko na rin doon sa kabilang side pala. So verify muna natin that there is no routing protocol configured, no, on this device using show IP protocols. Yan. So walang OSPF, ano. Now configure OSPF. Configure terminal tayo, tapos router OSPF, halimbawa 10 router ID. Para sa akin, gusto ko router ID quad 2. Yan. Now uutusan natin si R2 to advertise all directly connected network addresses on its interfaces, no? Ayan. Later on, may pakikita sa slide, no, na iba't ibang way para mai-configure yung pag-advertise niya ng mga network addresses. So gagawin ko muna yung pinaka-basic, ano, ng command ay network. Halimbawa, unahin ko 10.10.4.0. Gagamit tayo ng wildcard mask. Okay? Paggamit ng wildcard mask ay ganito. Default formula niya ay all 255. Ima-minus nyo yung network subnet mask, no, sa decimal notation. Yan. So kapag minus natin yan, hindi ang value nito ay 000127. So yung wildcard mask daw is an inverse of subnet mask, ano? Ayan. Ang kabaliktaran lang naman ito, 0 bits, no, for the network portion. Okay. Huwag niyo kalimutan, single area OSPF, area 0 lang tayo. Another network is 10.10.4.176. So isa pa. Yan. So verify natin, no, using show IP protocols. Using the show IP protocols without filtering, ito makikita natin, router ID, yung mga network addresses na kanyang i-advertise na. Then hover to R1 para may configure na natin yung kanyang mga interfaces, no. Ang i-advertise ko lang dito kay R1 itong tatlong network na yan, kasi ito naka tayo dito, naka default route tayo mamaya, no, para sa propagation ng default route. So focus muna tayo dito sa tatlong network na to para sa OSPF. So sorry, check ko muna, no. Show int s20, tapos include BW tayo, 1024 yung isa, 4096 according to the topology, ano. And then router OSPF 10. Kung tutusin, pwede ako maglagay ng 9, no? Wala naman pong problema dyan, no? Pero for ease of troubleshooting or reading of information, no, 10 na lang lalagay ko. And then router ID. Okay, then network command, no? Tapos 0003 area 0. Dito kapag kayo na-enter ko to, makaka-receive kagad siya ng hello dito from its neighbor, no? Hintay tayo ng konti. Ayan. So OSPF-5 adjacency change, process 10, neighbor 222 on serial 20. Nakalagay dito from loading to pull, no? Ayan. So next network. So verify natin, no, that router 1 received this network, no, using the OSPF. Show IP route. Okay. So dalawa pala makikita niya kasi si R2 in-advertise niya ito, no. Ito kasi directly connected eh. Kaya dalawang O lang makikita niya. Ayan. So reverse natin, no. Kay R2 tayo pumunta. Show IP route. Ayan, itong network na to, saka yung 188 na itong portion na to. Now let's go back to our slide. Point to point OSPF network. You can specify the interface that belongs to a point to point network by configuring the network command, no. You can also configure OSPF directly on the interface with the IP OSPF command. So ayun pala, no, dalawang paraan, no. So the basic syntax for the network command daw is as follows, no. Ayan, router global configuration mode, no, tapos router OSPF, process number, and then router ID, then network, no, network address, wildcard mask, area, and then number. The network address wildcard mask syntax is used to enable OSPF on interfaces and interfaces on a router that match this part of the command are enabled to send and receive OSPF packets. The area ID syntax refers to the OSPF area, no. When configuring single area OSPF, the network command must be configured with the same area on all routers, no. Although any area ID can be used, it is good to practice to use an area ID of 0 with a single area OSPF v2. This convention makes it easier if the network is later altered, no, to support multi-area OSPF version 2. Yan. Paano ba uli, no, kinompute yung wildcard mask? Ito po yun, no? The wildcard mask daw is typically the inverse of the subnet mask configured on that interface. The easiest method for calculating a wildcard mask is to subtract, no, the network subnet mask from 255, 255, 255, 255, no. So kagaya daw nito, example daw po, no, yung /24, no. Yan. Mali pa nga itong example niya rito eh. /24 ito. Or ito, mali din, no. Mali din yung sample dito. Dapat ito 255, 255, 2550 para maging 000255. Ito naman 192 dapat yung huli para magiging 000263. Ayan na, correct natin ha. Again, 000255, dapat ito 0 to, no? Ito naman, dapat 192 yung huli para maging 63 yung huli dito. Ayan, mali pa yung nasa PowerPoint natin, no? Within routing configuration mode, there are two ways to identify the interfaces that will participate in the OSPF routing process. Dito daw, no, in the first example, the wildcard mask identifies the network or identifies the interface based on the network addresses. Any active interface that is configured, no, with an IP address belonging to that network will participate in the OSPF version 2 routing process. Some iOS version allows the subnet mask to be entered instead of the wildcard mask. The iOS then converts the subnet mask to the wildcard mask format, no. Pwede rin naman daw ito, no, network, no, tapos ayan, tama, wildcard mask, no. Yan yung basic syntax, no. Meron pa susunod. An alternative OSPF can be as an alternative, OSPF can be enabled by specifying the exact interface IPv4 address using the quad 0 wildcard mask, no. So kagaya nito, router router OSPF 10, then network. Ito po ay IP address mismo sa kunyari sa serial interface, sa gigabit, no? Another serial interface, then all 0. Yan. The advantage of specifying the interface is that the wildcard mask calculation is not necessary. Notice that in all cases, the area argument specify area 0. Dito, parehas lang din naman ng area 0. So to configure OSPF directly, no, on the interface, use the IP OSPF interface configuration mode command. The syntax is as follows daw, no? IP OSPF and then process ID area, no? Subukan muna natin tong itong interface IP address, no? Dito kay kay R3. So 10.10.4.190 quad 0, no? Kasi interface IP address yan, and then area 0. Okay, ayun, no? Nag-create sila ng adjacency, or nag-form sila ng adjacency. Ito naman, no? Yung IP address dito sa gateway natin ay 10.10.4.129. So check natin si R2 kung na-receive niya yung 10.10.4.128, ano? So 10.10.4.128 ito siya. Dito rin sa kabila. Yan, 10.10.4.128. Okay, so yung susunod na format, no? Ito naman para sa R4, no, gamitin natin. Sa interface natin nilalagay ito. The problem here is hindi pa tayo nakapaglagay ng router ID, no? Pero later pwede naman natin siya i-modify. Pasok tayo sa bawat interface niya, tapos IP OSPF process ID 10 area 0. So verify muna natin that R4 doesn't have configuration, no? Show IP route, tapos show IP protocols. Ayan, wala pa, no? Ayan, punta tayo sa kanyang gigabit, no? In G10, tapos IP OSPF 10 area 0. Okay, as you can see, no, nakita siya ng neighbor, no, 3 at saka 2, no? Int G00 IP OSPF area, or sorry, IP OSPF 10 area 0. So alinman doon sa mga technique na yon, pwede nyo gamitin, no, to enable, no, yung OSPF sa mga interfaces niya. Okay, so let's verify na receive po, no, ni R2 itong 10.10.4.160. Ayan siya. KR1 10.10.4.160. Ayan, karating na, no? So now punta tayo dito. By default, the OSPF messages are forwarded out all OSPF enabled interfaces. However, these messages only need to be sent out interface that are connecting to other OSPF enabled router. Sending out unneeded messages on the LAN affects the network in three ways, no? Inefficient use of bandwidth. So available bandwidth daw is consumed transporting unnecessary messages. Inefficient use of resources, no? All devices on the local area network must process and eventually discard a message, no? Imagine a computer receiving OSPF hello message, no? Tapos i-discard lang niya. Increase security risk, no? Without additional OSPF security, OSPF messages can be intercepted with a packet sniffing software kagaya ng Wireshark. Then routing update can be modified, no, and sent back, no, to the router, corrupting the routing table with the false metric that misdirect the traffic, no? Yun yung pala yung mga warning dito, no? Unnecessary traffic na pumapasok sa LAN na wala ng router na pupuntahan. Tapos yung security, no? So base dito sa ating topology, ito yung mga area, no, na hindi na dapat nakaka-receive pa ng mga OSPF packet, pero nakalagay siya doon sa network statement ng router kasi i-advertise siya papalabas, pero hindi na dapat siya pasukan pa ng OSPF packet. Ito, no, yung LAN na ito, itong portion, yan, saka ito. Okay, yan yung mga area na hindi na dapat kasama sa na mabatuhan pa ng OSPF packet. So ilalagay daw natin siya sa passive interface para kahit na mag-Wireshark dito, wala siya marireceive na OSPF packet, no? Okay, balik tayo kay R2. So router OSPF 10. Tapos passive interface. Check muna natin, no? Make sure na tama yung interface natin dito. Sorry. Ang interface na dapat natin ilagay sa passive interface ay gigabit 00. Okay, so ibig sabihin naka-block na ngayon, no? Wala nang OSPF packet na dadaloy dito. Therefore, yung link natin na-save na yung kanyang bandwidth for proper traffic, ano? Yan. Dito naman sa portion na ito, R4, no? Check ko muna, ano? Show run, tapos section router OSPF. Yan. So meron siyang router OSPF pero wala siya router ID, no? Yan, kasi nga nilagay kasi natin siya sa sa interface, no? So magiging problema natin, wala namang option dun sa interface na maglagay ng router ID. Therefore, iba yung router ID nito. Show IP or show IP protocols, no? Tingnan nyo po yung kanyang router ID instead na 444, no? Pero pwede naman natin siya i-modify, no? Yan. So punta muna tayo dito sa sa router OSPF 10, tapos router ID. Yan, ayun, yung kanyang warning, oh. Reload or use clear IP OSPF process. And then passive interface na tayo, G00. Hindi ko kakalimutang save muna, tapos saka tayo mag clear IP OSPF process. Enter natin. Tinatanong tayo, it will reset all OSPF process. Are you sure? No? Yes. Okay. Tapos ayan, no? Nag create uli ng adjacency sa mga neighbors niya. Ayan. Dito naman tayo sa R3. So make sure, no, na ito ilalagay natin sa passive at hindi ito. Kasi kung ito ilalagay nyo sa passive, hindi turn down yung connection nito, borado siya rito sa neighbor na to, di ba? Okay. So R3 gigabit 00. R1 ba na-configure ko na? We can verify it, no? Show run section, router OSPF. Ayan, wala pa. And then router OSPF din, passive interface, G00. Balik tayo dito. So, OSPF in a point-to-point network or OSPF point-to-point network. By default daw, no, Cisco router LX DRBDR on Ethernet interface, even if there is only one other device, no, on the link. So you can verify this using show IP OSPF. So siguro gawa tayo dito ng ano, isa pang sample, no, topology. Dagdag na lang natin, lagay natin sa baba. Yan, kasi sinasabi lang naman niya yung point to point eh. Dito, pero standalone lang sila, no? Para lang doon sa tawag dito, sa topic dito sa slide na to. Lagyan na lang natin siya ng ano, ng loopback. Yan. So, LO loopback 1. Nari ang kanyang IP address dito ay ano, 111. Okay, so configure natin, no? So gawin natin tong ano, /24 halimbawa. Ayan. /24. Pwede naman kasi may subnet, mas pwedeng wala, no? Router OSPF, yari 10 network. So check natin, no? Point to point lang yan. Dapat nga walang election dyan, no? Kaya lang kasi Ethernet yung link na ginamit natin, no? Show IP OSPF neighbor ang command. Makikita nyo rito DR CR5, tapos yung of course CR6 ay ano, BDR, no? Using show IP o IP protocol. Check na muna natin. So wala siya rito, pero pwedeng show IP OSPF interface G00. Yan, BDR siya. Yan. So balikan natin slide natin, ha? By default, Cisco router elects ADR BDR on an Ethernet interface even if there is only one other device, no, on the link. So you can verify this with the show IP OSPF, no, sa interface. The DR-BDR election process is unnecessary as there can only be two router, no, on the point-to-point network between R1 and R2. Notice in the output that the router has designated network type as broadcast. And show network broadcast. So check nga natin. Network broadcast. Yan. So balik tayo. Kasi unnecessary yung traffic dito, no? Yan. So ano yung solution? So to change this to a point-to-point network, use the interface configuration command IP OSPF network point-to-point. Papasok tayo sa interface, no? Kunyari gigabit 00. Tapos IP OSPF network point-to-point. Show IP in G00, sorry, show IP OSPF interface G00. Notice point to point. So dun muna ako sa kabila. Show IP OSPF neighbor, verify natin. Tignan nyo, no? Instead na DR BDR nakalagay ito. Use loopback to provide additional interface for a variety of purposes, no? Kagaya doon sa R5, R6 natin, naglagay po tayo ng loopback interface. Ang goal lang naman is parang meron kang local area network na merong switch, no? Kasi kung magdadagdag pa ako ng switch, magiging clutter na yung yung topology ko. For testing purposes, no? To simulate a real LAN, the loopback interface can be configured as a point-to-point network to advertise the full network. So, ito daw yung nakikita ni R2. /32, kahit na naka /24, no? Check nga natin, no? Show IP route tayo dito. Show 100/32 yung nakikita niya. Okay, kasi ang alam niya kasi loopback talaga siya, no? Pero kung gusto mo i-simulate lang talaga na may real local area network ka na as is ko yung subnet mask na i-configure mo, no? Halimbawa /24, dapat /24 din yung makikita natin dito. May solution doon, no? Ayan, IP OSPF network point-to-point. Subukan natin. Tingnan nga muna natin kung ano mangyayari. PR6. Ayan, no? Nabago na yung mask niya, no? Int look back 1, tapos IP OSPF network, point to point. So, dapat dito show IP route. We have 111/24. Sorry, ulitin natin, no? Show IP route. Ayan. So balik tayo. So pag-usapan naman natin ngayon, no, yung multi-access OSPF network. Ayan. Another type of network that uses the OSPF is the multi-access OSPF network. Multi-access OSPF network are unique in that one router controls the distribution of the link state advertisements, no? The router that is selected for this role should be determined by the network administrator through a proper configuration. Of course, kung ikaw yung administrator, piliin mo yung medyo malakas-lakas na, no, na specs na router para maging DR, no? OSPF designated router. In a multi-access network, OSPF elects the DR and BDR. Again, the DR is responsible, no, for collecting and distributing the link state advertisement sent and received. The DR uses the multicast IP address of 224.0.0.5, which is meant for all OSPF router. A BDR is also elected, no, in case the DR fails. The BDR listens passively and maintains a relationship, no, with all the routers. If the DR stop producing hello packet, the BDR promotes itself, no, and assume the role of DR. All other router become DR other or DROTher, no? A router that is neither the DR nor the BDR. DROTHers use the multi-access address or multicast address. Hindi siya multi-access, no? So multicast address of 224.0.0.6, all designated router to send OSPF packet to the DR BDR. Only the DR and BDR listen to 224.0.0.6. So dito sa topology natin, no, there are 3 routers interconnected over a common Ethernet multi-access network on network 192.168.10/24. Because the router are connected over the common multi-access network, OSPF has automatically elected a DR and BDR. R3 has been elected as the DR because its router ID is 333, no, which is the highest on this network. R2 is the BDR because it has the second highest router ID in the network. So dito sa topology natin, no, kung sino yung una kasing makonfigure natin ng OSPF, i-assume niya na siya yung DR, no? Dito po, so balikan natin itong original. Ito pwede natin ito i-shutdown. Okay, so between R2, R3 and R4, kung sino yung unang may configure ng OSPF routing, siya yung magiging DR, maliban na lang kung mag-restart tayo o power cycle tayo, no? So sa R2, show IP OSPF neighbor. Okay, so sabi niya rito 333. Yung 333 ang function backup designated router. 444 DROTher. Okay, so check nga natin, show interface G10, show IP OSPF, no? Show IP interface G10. Yan, DR nga siya kasi nauna siya, no? ito BDR, ito DR other. Okay, maliban na lang kung mag power cycle tayo, i-correct niya yung order, no, pinakamataas ito. To verify the OSPF version 2 adjacency, use the show IP OSPF neighbor command. The state of neighbor is in a multi-access network can be as follows, no? Pulled rudder. Yan, ibig sabihin yan, kunyari nasa R2 tayo, pulled rudder, nakita niya, no? Tapos 444 yung router ID, no? Yan. So pulled DR, yung two-way na to. Yan, two-way. Rather, non-DR or BDR router has a neighbor relationship with another non-DR or BDR router, no? These two neighbor exchange hello packets. The normal state, no, for an OSPF router is usually full. Yan. If the router is stuck, no, in another state, it is an indication that there are a problem, no? There are problem in forming adjacency. The only exception to this two-way state, which is normal, no, in multi-access broadcast network. So the OSPF DR/BDR election is based on the following criteria in sequential order. The router in the network elects, no, the router with the highest interface priority as the DR. So the router with the second highest interface priority becomes the DR. So ibig sabihin sa gigabit pala natin, meron palang interface priority yun, no? Kaya lang naka-default daw yun, no? The priority can be configured to be any number, no? Between 0 to 255. If the interface priority value is set to 0, that interface cannot be elected, no, as DR/BDR. The default priority of multi-access broadcast interface is 1, no? If the interface priority are equal, then the router with the highest router ID is selected as the DR. The router with the second highest, BDR. The election process takes place when the first router with the OSPF enabled interface is active on the network. If all of the router on the network have not finished booting, it is possible that the router with the lower router ID becomes DR. In addition of a new router, no, the addition of a new router does not initiate a new election process. DR other lang yun, no? Isasalpak mong router. After the DR is selected, it remains the DR until one of the following events occur. If the DR fails, no? Kunyari nag-shutdown yung port niya, the OSPF process on the DR fails or is stopped. The multi-access interface on the DR fails or is shut down, no? If the DR fails, the BDR is automatically promoted to DR. This is the case even if another DR other with the highest priority or router ID is added, no, to the network after the initial DR/BDR election. However, after the BDR is promoted to DR, a new BDR election occurs, no, and that router with the highest priority or router ID is selected as a new backup designated router. The IP OSPF priority command, no, if the interface priority are equal on all routers, the router with the highest router ID is selected the DR. Instead of relying on the router ID, it is better to control the election by setting the interface priority. This is also allows a router to be the DR, no, in one network and DR other in another network. To set priority, no, upon interface, use the command IP OSPF priority value, no, from 0 to 255. A value of 0 does not become DR or BDR. A value of 1 to 255 on the interface makes it more likely that the router becomes a DR or BDR. So dito sa topology natin, ako na lang mag-iisip, no? Halimbawa gusto kong maging DR itong si R3. Yan, gusto ko siya maging DR, tapos lagyan natin siya ng priority 200. Yan, dito sa portion na ito. Tapos ito, BDR. Gawin natin siyang priority 100, no? Tapos yung isa, ayokong ma-elect siya as DR, BDR eh. Kaya gagawin ko priority niya rito sa interface na ito. So DR other lang siya. Priority 0. Ayan. So paano natin siya gagawin, no? Punta tayo kay R3. So check muna natin, no? Show in G10, show IP. Ayan, no? Yung priority 1. So gawin natin siya priority 200. IP OSPF priority po yung command, no? 200. Verify ko muna, no? CR3 show IP OSPF interface G10. Okay, kailangan natin siya clear, no? Clear IP OSPF process. So now DR na siya. So BDR DR other, no? Yan. So na-meet na natin ang ating criteria, no? Modify single area OSPF v2. So routing protocol, no, use the metric to determine the best path, no, of a packet across the network. OSPF use the cost as a metric, no. A lower cost daw indicates a better path. So the Cisco cost of an interface is inversely proportional to the bandwidth, no, of the interface. Therefore the higher bandwidth indicates the lower cost. The formula used to calculate of the OSPF, yung default is 100 Mbps divided by the link bandwidth para makuha yung cost. So check nga natin, no? Itong link natin sa serial, okay, i-divide natin, no, using calculator. Okay, so divided by 1024 kbps. So 97. Cost is 97. Hindi po yan nira-round up, ano? Whole number lang. Check nga muna natin, no? Paano makikita yung cost. So on R2, ang command po ay show IP OSPF interface is to 0. Yan siya. cost is 97. Parehas din dito, cost 97. So kung isusulat natin siya dito, 97 dito. So dito sa kabila, 4096. So 24. Dito sa portion na to, no? Yan. So 97. So check muna natin, no, to verify. Show IP OSPF int is 21. Yan, 24. So paano naman dito sa ating gigabit, no, interface? So check nga natin, no? Kasi ito ay Ethernet switch, no? R2 show in G10 include BW. So ang bandwidth niya is 1000 or tama, no, 1 Gbps. Okay, kaya lang I think this is 100 Mbps, no? Siguro kung ito pas Ethernet, no, 100 Mbps lang dapat yung magiging bandwidth natin. So 1 Gbps siya rito, pero dapat yan ay 100 lang siya, kasi it should be 100, no, dahil ito ay Ethernet lamang, or past Ethernet. Kung papalitan natin ito, no, kaso wala naman tayo ditong, meron ba tayong subukan natin, no, ito ilagay natin. So try natin i-test, no, kung mamamanipulate nito, no, 100 Mbps yung ating bandwidth dito. So R2 show int G10. Hindi siya nagbago, no. Pero sa tunay na device to, magbabago to, magiging 100 Mbps dapat siya. Okay, so sa packet tracer hindi rin nagana yun, no. Kung ano yung bandwidth dito, kunyari 1 Gbps, kahit 100 dito, 1 Gbps pa rin makikita nyo rito. Pero sa tunay na device, when you connect a router, kahit gigabit dito, tapos Cat6 yung kable, tapos pas Ethernet yung switch, yung pinakamababang bandwidth ang gagamitin niya, which is 100. So 100 dapat mag-appear dito. Therefore 100 Mbps divided by 100 Mbps, cost is 1. Paano kung 100 Mbps divided by 1 Gbps? So check nga natin yung cost, no, dito. Show IP OSPF interface G10 include cost 1. Yan, kasi kung meron decimal number, kunyari 0.00 something, 1, round up to the nearest 1, which is 1, no? Round up to the nearest whole number, which is 1. Yan, ayun yung explanation ni Cisco dito, no? So ibig sabihin cost 1 ito, whether 10,000 Gbps pa yan, no? So dito sa portion na yan, pare-parehas yan. Okay. So, kung tayo si R2 going to this network 10.10.4.128, pwede tayo dumaan dito, pwede rito, no? Kung dito tayo dadaan, 97 plus 24 plus 1. Ito may cost 1 din ito, eh. Cost 1 din dito. Yan. Ito yung target network natin, ha. So sulat natin R2 to network 10.10.4.128/27 via R1. The cost is equals to, compute natin, ha. So ito kasi ay 97 plus 24 plus 1 122. Okay, via, no, another path, no, via R3 is equals to, of course, 1 na rito, 1 doon sa kabila, 2. Tingnan natin, ha. So dapat ito yung best path na dadaanan niya, going to 10.10.4.128. Show IP route 10.10.4.128. So hindi niya sinunod ito, no? Yan, hindi niya sinunod. Pero it should be, ano, dapat dito siya dadaan. Okay, tingnan ko ano ba nangyari. Kasi router to, eh, no? Gawin natin siya switch. Power cycle ko siya. Subukan natin, no, kung may correct natin yung kanyang information. Gawin ko lang siyang port pass para mag-up ka agad, no? Ba't naka-down to? The interface is down. So yung settings dito sa GNS3, ano? So int range f10 to so naka-up na siya. So gawin ko muna siyang access port, no, saka port pass. So tingnan natin, no, kung magiging 100 Mbps na yung dito sa link na to. Show IP show int s or g10. Hindi, nakaano pa rin siya, no? Hindi niya nabago dito. So dito naka 100 Mbps na tayo. Dito gigabit pa rin siya. Pero dapat ito naka gigabit na rin ito eh. Pero siguro yun yung problema sa emulated, no? Emulated environment or sa simulated environment. Hindi realistic yung nakikita rito. Ayan. Pero double check natin kung nakikita natin yung neighbor natin dito, no? Para malaman natin na may connection talaga siya. Show IP OSPF neighbor 333 DDR. O yan, tama, no? Nakikita niya ito, kaya lang hindi nasunod yung yung bandwidth natin dito. Maliban na lang kung mag manual tayo ng 100, no? So check nga natin yung interface ni R2. Duplex auto natin. Show int so walang command na duplex or speed, no? Anyway, sa tunay na device pwedeng since naka-auto negotiate yan, no? 100 Mbps dito, 1 Gbps dito, magne-negotiate sila into 100. So correct yung computation natin dyan na 100 over 100 is cost 1 at dapat dito siya dadaan, no? Tapos verify natin, no? Nung binuksan natin ito, dapat dito na siya dadaan eh. Show IP route. Ayun. Ito lang na-correct niya, no? Nung binuksan, nung nabuhay natin yung interface ng switch na to, no? Na-correct niya yung cumulative cost natin, no? Going to the destination 1, 2. So ito yung nasa routing table ni R2. Okay? Kasi mataas yung natin dito, yung cost kapag kainad natin eh. So balikan natin, no? Ito ang ating slide. So again, the default reference bandwidth is 100 Mbps divided by the link bandwidth, no? So because the OSPF cost value must be an integer, Pass Ethernet, Gigabit, and 10 Gbps share the same cost, no? To correct this situation, you can adjust the reference bandwidth with AutoCost reference bandwidth command to each OSPF router. So gawin natin siyang reference 1000 para yung computation natin ay 1000, no? Especially kung naka gigabit din, no, yung switch natin. Yan. Pero kung gusto niyo i-correct, no? Kasi kung nalilito kayo sa 100 divided by 1,000 di ba? Hindi, paano siya kino-correct? Pasok tayo sa R2. Kaya lang mag-iiba rin yung computation natin dito, magiging 1,000 na siya. Or 1 Gbps divided by 1024 kbps. Tataas yung numero dito. Pero sige, gawin natin. R2. So, verify natin, no, yung cost niya ay napalitan. So, doon tayo kay R2. Show IP OSPF interface is 20. Dapat yung cost niya tataas eh. Tumaas yung numero. Kanina 97, no? Okay. So, subukan natin, no? I-compute natin. $9.76, tama. Okay, wala lang. Kung gusto niyo lang i-gawing consistent yung computation niya, no? Kasi sa panahon natin ngayon, puro matataas na interface natin, no? Gigabit na, no? Yung mga router. Yung kasing OSPF nung time na yon, ang pinakamataas na interface nung dati is 10 Mbps. Okay, pero inabang na nila ng 100 Mbps, no? Kasi inassume nila na talagang darating yung time kakaroon ng 100 or past Ethernet, no? So balik tayo dito. Okay, refer to the table, no, for the breakdown of the cost calculation. Yan, no? 0.1 same cost due to reference bandwidth. So, changing the reference bandwidth does not actually affect the bandwidth capacity on the link. Rather, it simply affects the calculation used to determine the metric. To adjust the reference bandwidth, ayun yan, no, yung auto cost reference bandwidth, tapos ko ilang Mbps. This command must be configured on every router in the OSPF domain. So notice in the command that the value is expressed in Mbps. Therefore, to adjust the cost for gigabit Ethernet, use the command autocost reference 1000. Another option is to change the cost, no, on one specific interface using the IP OSPF cost command, no. Instead na mag-compute siya ng mag-compute ng number base sa bandwidth, lagyan mo na lang kagad kunyari cost 97, no, sa bawat interface point to point. So, whichever method is used, it is important to apply the configuration to all router in the OSPF routing domain. So, the table shows the OSPF cost if the reference bandwidth is adjusted to accommodate 10 Gbps. Yan. You can use the show IP OSPF interface command, no, to verify the current OSPF cost assignment, no, to the interface. So, to manually set the cost, no, on the interface, ayun lang, pasok lang kayo sa interface tapos IP OSPF cost. So what happened daw, no, if the link between R1 and R2 goes down, you can simulate that by shutting down the interface and verify the routing table, no, is updated to R1 as the next hub router, no, or R3 as the next hub router. Notice that R1 can now reach this address network through R3 with the cost value of 50 kung gamit ay yung topology ni Cisco Netacad, no. Yan, pwede nyo i-verify naman yun. So OSPF hello packets are transmitted to multicast address to 24005 all OSPF router every 10 seconds, no. This is the default timer value on the multi-access and point-to-point network. Hello packets are not sent, no, on the interfaces set to passive by the passive interface command. The dead interval is the period that the router will wait, no, to receive a hello packet between declaring the neighbor down. Yan, ibig sabihin yan, hindi naman forever, no, na maghihintay yung router natin ng hello sa neighbor. Yan, mayroon niyang limit. Kapag ka umabot sa limit, i-declare niya yung neighbor niya na down, tapos i-delete na yan sa neighbor table. If the dead interval expires before the router receive a hello packet, no, or sorry, if the dead interval expire before the router receive a hello packet, OSPF remove that neighbor from its link state database. The router floods the LSTB with information about the down network all OSPF enabled interface. Cisco uses the default of 4 times the hello interval. So ibig sabihin kung 10 yung ating hello, maghihintay po yung router, no, for about 40 seconds, no. Kapag wala na siya na-receive doon na hello packet, patay na yung neighbor, tapos i-inform niya yung mga active router, no, wala na yung ganitong network na. So pwede naman laruin yan, no. Yan. So the OSPF hello and dead interval are configurable on per interface basis. So ibig sabihin dapat point to point parehas to, no. Kunyari serial ng R2 saka R1. The OSPF interval must match the neighbor adjacency the OSPF interval must match or neighbor adjacency does not occur. To verify the current configuration, no, OSPF B2 interface interval, yung command show IP OSPF interface lamang, no. Tapos makikita natin dito timer interval configured hello 10 dead 40. So kapag ka magkaiba yan, no, sa point to point, walang adjacency yan. Yan, so ganito gagawin nyo, no. Kunyari sa router 2 IP OSPF hello interval, kunyari 5 times 4 nun, no, hindi 20, ano. Yan, kabilang side ganoon din gagawin nyo. Okay, so default route propagation, tingnan muna natin, no, sino kaya yung may default route dito sa ating ano. Si router 1 kasi yung connected sa internet, no? Show IP route, no, siya yung merong default route. So na-acquire niya to nung humingi siya ng IP address dito sa kanyang gigabit gigabit 01 show IP or gigabit 10 show IP in brief. Yan, G10 doon sa NAT interface natin, no? Naka IP address DHCP siya. Yan, therefore automatic nag-install yan ng static IP route, although hindi nyo makikita ito dito sa ano, show run include IP route. Yan. Or sorry, hindi siya makikita dyan, no? Kasi automatic yan in-add na ng R1 as the default, no? Okay, so subukan natin. Nakakapag-ping po si R1 sa gateway niya, which is 192.168.122.1. How about other device? Pero yung 171 kaya, check na natin. 171. Okay, anyway, so in reality kasi, no, hindi naman tayo makapag-access ng Facebook, no, or any other site kung wala tayong default route kay R3 Okay, R2, R3, and R4, no? Kasi yung destination address natin wala sa routing table, so i-drop niya yan. Pero kung meron tayong kung meron tayong default route, ibabato niya yan sa ibabato niya yung kay R1, no? Okay, so testingin natin paano ba ibabato yung default route sa R3, R2, and R4, no? Without configuring manual static route sa tatlong router na yan. Okay, tusan natin to si R1 router OSPF 10, tapos default information, default information, sorry, question mark tayo, default information originate. Yan po yung command, no? Yan lang po, single command, tapos ibabato niya na yung yung quad 0 dito. Hintay lang tayo na konti, no? Ayun, no? OSPF external type 2 quad 0. Yan. Testingin lang natin, no? Hopefully mapping niya yung yung 192.168.122.171. Yung 1, wala tayong route, no? Ibig sabihin binablock tayo ng NAT interface natin. Pero ibig sabihin napiping na natin to. Okay. Yan, yun doon sa pinaka wide area network natin. From our PC, hindi lang natin mapiping yung rito, yung ating gateway, no? Okay lang yun kasi purpose lang naman natin dito is mabatuhan ng default route yung R2, R4, and R3. So yung R4 meron na rin itong default route, pero natutunan niya using OSPF. Yan, OSPF external type 2. After configuring a single area OSPF version 2, you will need to verify your configuration. So the following two commands are particularly useful for verifying routing, show IP interface brief para malaman ninyo kung tama yung mga IP addresses na pinaglalagay ninyo, show IP route para malaman ninyo kung updated na yung routing table natin, Additional command for determining that OSPF is operating as expected, includes the following: show IP OSPF neighbor, dapat nakikita nyo yung mga neighbor router. Show IP OSPF protocol, dapat nakikita nyo kung naka-enable na yung OSPF at yung mga router ID, Yan, show IP OSPF or specific, OSPF interface, So ito yung mga example output, show IP OSPF neighbor. Show IP protocols, show IP OSPF, nakalagay dito routing process OSPF process 10 with ID 111. Okay, and then sa interface yung cost, yung type ng network na interface na yan, show IP OSPF interface brief. So check nga natin, I think sa packet tracer wala nito So process ID, area 0, IP address, tapos cost, state, DR or DRADR, Okay, so that's all for this module, I hope na-explain naman natin, itong topic na to clearly as possible. Maganda, basahin nyo ulit yung curriculum para mabuo yung idea, practice yung sample packet tracer activity on your NetAcad Academy, or gayahin nyo to using your emulator. So again, maraming salamat no sa time na inyong ginugol no dito sa ating topic.